you talk about you want more unbundling. But let me push back on that. I mean, I don't get to say to Netflix, I don't want to watch all the Netflix shows. I only like a couple of them, so I only want to pay $2 a month. Isn't everybody bundling in one form or another? We don't get to pick everything.
We don't get to pick absolutely everything. You're right. We're not paying per show, John. But Netflix is not a collection of networks. It's a collection of shows. And so, and it's a huge collection of shows, including an immense back catalog. One of the interesting things I learned at the Code Media Conference last week, which helped give rise to this column, is people really want a combination of new and back catalog, just like they do with music. So, yeah, obviously we're not going to get to complete, total a la carte, but we're a long way from that when we talk about the cable box today.
So, Walt, isn't this a question of who gets the power in sort of the streaming-friendly digital entertainment world of the future? I mean, is it going to be Apple and Amazon who get the payment and then decide how it gets distributed? Or is it going to be the people who are a bit closer to the content actually getting made? I mean, I can see dangers either way.
Well, yes, somebody's going to get the power. Right now, all the power, or most of the power, is in the hands of the studios, actually. Some of it is, of course, in the hands of the cable providers. But I just think it's inevitable that we see the cable subscriptions falling. Like I said, they're not collapsing, but they fell pretty significantly in the last quarter, in the last couple of quarters. So change is coming. I'm just really impatient about it. And what I want from the point of view of a consumer is what you kind of have in this rather brilliant hack of a product called Cavo, which was unveiled at Code Media, which was you pick up a remote, you ask for any show on any of your boxes, on any of your services, and it just comes up. It handles, knowing what's on every box at any one time, what you've been watching. Doesn't matter if it's a live show, if it's a DVR show, if it's a stream show, if it's something you bought off Amazon or iTunes, and that's what I want.
Who's behind that company, and who in general, Walter, is leading the charge on this? For a while, it looked like Apple had some big plans on television. I know you had Eddie Q there as well. Who should we watch?
Right. Well, I think you do have to watch Apple. I mean, the read I got from Eddie Q's statements, even though, like every Apple executive, he doesn't tell you what their product plans are, is they are just playing a long game. They're waiting for the studios to become more amenable, for changes in consumer behavior to come around, and they're going to keep at it. And the key to this really is unbundling. I'm going to say something now that is going to sound crazy, but I don't think it's crazy. I think a lot of the TV networks, the general purpose ones, not like CNBC where you know exactly what CNBC covers, but the general purpose ones, I think have outlived their usefulness. The whole concept of a general purpose TV network means nothing. Would it matter to fans of Saturday Night Live if it moved off NBC to ABC? Would it really matter?
So you're talking about broadcast networks that have three letters essentially. You think that they are dinosaurs?
I do, and I also think some of the cable networks are dinosaurs too. If they're too general purpose and they don't have, a kind of personality or focus. So, for instance, I don't know what TBS is. I know some shows on TBS that I watch, but I can't tell you. And I bet if you go out on the streets of, any city in the country, you say, what's the personality of TBS? Nobody knows that. And that's a basic cable network. So it's not just the broadcast guys.
To make that leap, Walt, though, would mean that no one would ever come home and just say, what's on? I'm going to turn on the TV and find out what's on. You're saying that kind of linear appetite is dying.
It totally is dying. I know that I never do it anymore, and I'm not exactly a millennial. I don't know about you, John. In our house, we look at what have we got recorded on the DVR, what's on Roku or Apple TV, whatever, that we might want to watch. We might be in the middle. Usually, we're in the middle of binge watching something, and we watch something from there, and then we bounce back to something.
I watch the evening news. I watch the evening news as a millennial, Walt, and millions of Americans watch the evening news, and that's going to be valuable for these networks as long as they have the advertising model in place.
Of course it is, but you'll still be able to watch the evening news if we go to a show-based model, because that's a show. So if you want the NBC evening news, I'm not going to take it away from you. I'm not interested in. In fact, they can do 6 versions of it, and you'd love it.
Well,
but
Walt, we gotta
I'm just saying the bundle is the problem.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.